Hello. This tutorial is my solution to my temperature converter problem for my students. I'm going to go rather quickly, but I will pause and discuss the more esoteric points of my solution. So I begin a new project. Call it temperature converter. That's a fine place to put it. It's a forms application. Alright, when the form opens up, I want to change a few things. I'm going to change the text. I'm also going to change the icon. Hit enter. To the sun. And while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and change the icon for my executable by going to Project and then the Properties. I'll change the default icon Alright. For good measure, I'll save. Now I'm done with this window. Next, I want to add a few labels. In fact, I'll add 1, 2, 3 labels. This one will not have a name. Label 2, just going to keep it that name, will be will hold the symbol degree C. And label 3, I'm going to change the name of that to LBL temp F. This will hold the temperature in Fahrenheit and the degree F. The text, just to keep it consistent with what I started, temp F. Now here I'm going to change the border style, which we haven't covered yet, to Fix 3D, which makes it look like a text box, but it's just a label. And then the back color is going to be white. I also need to add a text box. I'm going to change that name to TXT temp C. This is where I'll enter the Celsius temperature. And again, just for consistency's sake, I'll put that there. I also want this to be centered. And I'll align this the center. I also want to align my temperature Fahrenheit. I'd like to add one more button, or a button. I'll name this BTN Convert, and the text will be something like this. Like so. last thing I'll do is I'll make the form be a nice yellow color to match my sun. Something like that. Alright, now it's time to start writing code. So the first thing I want to do is double click on the form. This is going to enter the form load method. So when the form opens up and loads, I want to first of all clear that text box and clear my label box that holds the temperatures. Little comments are always nice. So the text property is going to equal the null string of both of these. Now, this next bit is a little bit more to it, but it's a little bit more fun as well. So I'm going to now put the degree symbol in my unit label. Now, there's not a keystroke, of course, to get a degree symbol, but we can use the ASCII codes, ASCII, the American Standard Code for Information Interchange. If you scroll way down, these columns here, this is the decimal number. So if we scroll all the way down to 176, you see that decimal 176 gives us the degree sign. Okay, so we can use that in Visual Basic. I'm going to copy this website here just so I can have it whenever I refer to this program in the future. So it's www.ascii-code.com. Alright, so my label 2, I believe it was label 2, let me make sure. Yeah, label 2 is where I want that unit to go. So my label 2 dot text is going to equal. So I want it to be degree. So to use that 176, I need to use the CHR command. This will return the character associated with that decimal number. In this case, I know it's 176. So CHR will give me the degree symbol, and then I want to concatenate a string, capital C, for the unit Celsius. Alright, so let's run that and see what happens. So notice my label 2 has now turned into a degree C, and I'm ready to type in my temperature in my box here. Notice that the label that holds my Fahrenheit temperature is so tiny, all you see is a little three-dimensional line there. Okay, back to the design window. The rest of our code is going to go into the convert button. And here I'm going to create two variables. I haven't explicitly explained this in my tutorials, but my students who've been programming in BASIC-X all year long certainly know how to create a variable, and we do it the same way in Visual Basic. So two variables, temp C and temp F, as singles. The little squiggly lines are warning us that we have not used these variables. I just love the IntelliSense here. And then all you gotta do is say temp C equals, we can set the Celsius temperature to whatever is inside that text box. Don't forget the dot text, because it's not the text box that this thing is equal to, it's the stuff inside of it. It's the text inside. And then temp F can be calculated. You could look this up in any science textbook or online. It's 9/5 times the temperature, C, plus 32. Now, I didn't technically have to define this. I could have just used text temp C.text here, but that to me gets a little unwieldy and it's hard to read. And then finally we just need to populate the label. Now, of course, we need the number, okay, our variable, and then it'll be nice to actually put the units inside there. So we need to put a little space, perhaps. That's not completely necessary. And again, use the CHR command in 176. And then, of course, we need the letter F. Oops. All right, that should do it. Oh my goodness, errors. Forgot to concatenate. So now if we type in 100 degrees Celsius, it better be 212. 0 degrees Celsius, better be 32. And finally, the little known 40 degrees Celsius is equal to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 40. All right, well, this concludes my solution to my temperature converter little quiz, and I hope this was instructional.